but it don't look good on camera. Just so if I go here, woo, see this? Yeah, well, like one of the things I said earlier, it's just like, never quit. Know that the biggest obstacle is yourself, and you got to overcome yourself. And that'll take you to like heights that you would never imagine. And like I was saying that, I martial arts is the greatest thing, one of the greatest things that ever happened to me because of those reasons. And so I continue to strive and continue to be one of the happiest people I know because in the martial arts, I've put myself through more than society has for me, So that's a great lesson that they're all learning here. And, I'm really impressed with some of the, the philosophies that you're imparting on them. Yeah, it's amazing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Understand what I do and the way I look at it, I do a job. It's just like, it's no different than other people doing their jobs. I just happen to be doing a job that I really enjoy. It's a great job. And it's really what I do with the power I'm given that makes the difference.
Yep.
Yeah, and so some of the most significant things I can do with my position is what I'm doing here. That's why when this brother met me, I promised that no matter what, if I had time, I'm gonna be here because I've been spared for a reason.
Right.
My actual story is almost unbelievable. Of the things I've been through since I was, young. The odds were very much against me. And there's a lot of people I came up with is not here today. And I survived for a reason. And this is one of the reasons why I really believe I was meant to survive. So, I would love for you, if it means anything to you, I'd love for you to think about doing that when you overcome your obstacles to reach back. And like these brothers here, your instructors, and to give back, because our highest level is serving. And somebody might look at me and go, "Oh, he's a movie star." No, I'm a servant.
Each one.
Manifestation.
Each one.
Each one.
Each one.
Each one.
Stand up, black belt. Give us manifestation.
Manifestation. If the plan doesn't work, change the plan but not the goal. To vibrate on the frequency, emotions is a magnet. Thoughts manifest, now you force to take action. Never feel faster because endurance is a test. We only learn when we fail, every no is a yes.
Yep.
Take a deep breath. Don't be overwhelmed by the stress. Think of what you overcame, the situation will be next. Life is long, live it, survive, move on to the next. I made mistakes, I'm a new man, but God gave me a second chance. No fear, I gotta go for mine. The top is only for those who climb. It's a lonely world when you're chosen, so never waste your game road. Go your own, stay focused. Your friends and family want the same as judge, because you can see through water but not through blood. Bring life serves a purpose, but a fish won't climb a tree. Open your eyes and see what you
Who was written it? Who wrote these?
Our deepest fears, Marion Williamson. Our class code, it was written by my father. Think first of. Foster the spirit of effort and immediate positive. Always strive for a better. Keep the way of sincerity and utilize your knowledge and physical vigor for the purpose of. Only for the purpose of. Remember that you are somebody young, gifted, and smart. Young, gifted, and smart. You be loyal to you, obedient to you, honorable to you, and you never, ever, 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 ever what?
Give up.
Never what?
Give up.
What do we do?
I believe me, y'all made my night. It's not the other way around. Let me tell you, this is very
I
inspirational.
appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
He gave it to us. That's that man back there.
Wow.
Years old, bro.
Wow.
We've been in this since
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
what you're looking at. You're looking at reflections of yourself.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Let's roll a little bit, and then we'll see if bro has time to take some pictures with us. Put the back.
Well, the gentleman was asking about the spinning
Back. Okay.
spinning kick.
Give me
Okay.
the.
I'll show you a little bit of a trick to it. He says, huh?
You want the back?
Well, I mean, he wanted me to show.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Okay.
Yes. Even better.
Okay. Here's a concept I've thought about the spinning kick. So you mentioned the spinning kick. All right. So, a lot of times when you're doing a spinning kick, and plus, if you look on my Instagram, it shows me working this technique with John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of times when we do a spinning kick, act like we're sparring, right? Now, if you see me about to do a spinning kick, just move. You see what happens? You see when the shoulders move, he moves immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So a trick is, remember, I got to get this foot to him, right?
Yes.
Right? So the problem is, a lot of times we show with our shoulders first.
Mm-hmm.
But now if you move your hip without your shoulder, right? So when I'm sparring you, and if I do this, I know I got you. Because then I just do this, right? Bam! Then there's no other step, because there's not like
There's no telegraphing
1 and
to
2.
it. Yeah.
Because so if I'm doing this, right, and I've done this, now whether it's a spinning back kick or it's up there, it doesn't matter. It's one step.
Yeah.
So that's one of the tricks. Is just like I'm sparring, I do this, and
He's
just
done.
spin. It's done.
He's
You know
done.
what I mean?
He's done.
So
I love that.
You know that's
Yeah, I got that. I'm a kicker, so yeah, I'm gonna take that, download it.
okay. Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
yeah. But so the trick is
Trying not to get the shoulders moving.
keep the shoulder move and keep the shoulder there.
Us.
So, and especially when on top of that, if I do that and then I fake you here,
Yep.
then you really can't see it coming.
Right.
Because remember, it's just one step. Yeah, then it's boom. So that's one
Yes, sir.
little thing. Or if anybody has any questions,
You talked one time about your famous video with Kimbo, right?
okay.
Right. Can you explain some of that? Just about. Well, actually, I got one better, bro.
Mhm.
So as a traditional martial artist, right? When we trying to do something, come here real quick, Sultan. Right, and we're working a form, and we say shoot the punch, right? And we move and we work that extended arm, right? We understanding that nobody's gonna do this in the street, right?
I always say that.
Nobody's
gonna hold their hand out there.
Ain't nobody gonna hold that, right?
They ain't coming from here.
Right. So what are we using this for as a traditional martial artist? What do you see when you see people doing that?
Well, I mean, they're just trained. To me, I look at it. Yeah, they're just practicing. Because look, I've done a lot of forms, and sometimes it's about self-expression. Sometimes it's about just mastering your machine. So, because if I'm kicking straight up in the air, I can kick straight up in the air. That means I can kick right here with even more control.
Yep.
So there's sometimes we're doing advanced stuff that's very fancy, but it's training my body to do what my mind tells it to do.
Us.
So there's certain things that we could be practicing different techniques and all that kind of stuff. So we're practicing speed, explosiveness and whatever. But sometimes some of those things might not be practical. But I like I've done wushu. And there's a lot of things that you do in wushu
That ain't
that
really-
is not real.
Really practical, yeah.
I'm not gonna fight you like that, but I know. But the fact is, if my size, I do wushu, guess what? I can kick you in your eyebrow.
Yes,
right.
you can move.
That's right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
So
So
put it right where it belongs.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if I'm mastering my
Body control.
it's teaching me to master my body control.
Yep.
All these different things that I'm doing, all
Yep.
that fancy stuff,
Yep.
and you know, all these different movements and all that kind of stuff that I have to go fast and be
Mhm.
as fast as somebody this big at my size.
Mhm.
It just makes me better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So sometimes with the techniques, sometimes people criticize, oh, that ain't real. You know, maybe it's not supposed to be. Like you could do calculus, but that's training your mind to do something.
Yes.
You might not use it,
Every
but
day.
you're training your mind.
If you have to go there.
So
yeah.
always be positive. Open yourself up for new knowledge. Don't judge things
Right.
right off. So any technique you show me, I can go, well, I'm going to practice that. It might not work,
Right.
but I'm going to
It's
respect
still
it.
in my
Yeah,
it's
right.
still in my files.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things when people are doing this and their arm is out there and it's just.
Yeah, that's not
But you know, I say it is what it is.
because I think
Yeah.
of it as I've never seen a technique that I couldn't use. Do I
Uh-huh.
use it every day? Do I? Use, it's like a basketball player, right? If he's
Yeah.
shooting, he ain't shooting. Steph ain't shooting from half court every
Right.
single time,
Right.
but he can, and it's in his files. And if he needs to, he can
That's
pull
exactly
that
right.
out,
Yeah.
right? That's how I see it. Like
Yeah.
every technique, I may not use it every day. It may not be my high percentage technique that I go to all the time, but one day in sparring or fighting, I'm like, oh, there it is. You know,
Yeah.
or maybe never use it.
But
You know,
another good thing too is you have the Japanese, you have the Okinawa, you have the Korean, but understanding each application from each tradition and culture, because that's what they pass down is a culture and tradition. And once the family split, then he's going to do something longer stance or shorter punch or another block.
I say it like
based
this,
on
big bro.
your
Martial
tradition.
arts is an ocean,
Right.
and every system took their bucket
From somewhere else.
and got in that ocean and took their bucket of knowledge. And took, if martial arts was 10,000 movements, every system took 1,000 movements, put a thought behind it, and said,
Right,
"This is my
right,
system,"
right,
right?
right.
But you can find those movements in every single system.
Right.
Every single system has
Yes.
this.
Yeah,
You
this.
see what I'm saying? And
Either
so
the
it's
hands
just
is closed or locked, right,
what
right,
they
right,
think behind
right.
it, that intent. And so I just think when we learning new techniques and stuff, we're learning, oh, that's how y'all saw that. That's how y'all interpret that.
Mhm.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and you
And
just
it's a
add it to
respect for
yours.
everybody's art. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, you just.
Um,
What's one of your favorite techniques to do when you choreographing, or either
Oh,
one
boy.
of y'all?
All right, this
Because I know you got to do everything he can do, right?
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
But you know, yeah. So it's. I mean, that's.
You like kicking or punching more?
Well, it's really not. It's depending on what role I'm playing.
Who that character
It's about that
is?
character.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
got you.
And personally, I start to do things like I like to do things that's more realistic. Sometimes there are the fancy stuff, but you know, depending on the type of movie, I even choreograph mistakes sometimes, so it makes it feel like it's real.
I think that's what made Jackie Chan so good, so nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's sky's the limit and all the you know.
I was watching. What was that? You just did. I can't think of it, but you fought the big dude. He was real big, and you tried to hit him, and he went in for the choke like that. And then the second time he went in for the choke, you said "boop" right in his eye. He was like ah, and then kicked. And then I went into some front snatch. I can't remember what I watched it the other night. But yeah, just the practicality and filming the mistakes, right? And the real stuff, like somebody your size come up and grab me, right? If he grab me, like this ain't, you know, if I'm used to, you know, doing this with somebody to his size or something, I'm gonna be like, oh shit,
Right.
and we gonna have to find something else. But I think that's real street stuff. Like you really go through that in combat, don't you? Sometimes, right?
Yeah, like I like, you know, like with Blood and Bone, things like that. Then I got a chance to do things that look a little bit more real and in street fighting and all that type of stuff. But then other movies, I just it'll be just different.
How did it feel being like Blood and Bone, being with just the street combat? You could be yourself, the street combat people. You know what I'm saying? The people that's from the bare knuckle scene.
Yeah. Well, see, I put a lot of things in Blood and Bone that I really did.
Mhm.
Like
I noticed.
Like where I can see somebody, they
jabs falling,
and the jab falls.
Mhm.
I'm like, when I fight, I go, oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest way to fight. Just watch somebody and see them take advantage of their flaws.
Exactly.
So yeah, I put a lot of that kind of stuff in it, and a lot of fakes that people really don't, they're not able to block very much.
Oh, you use one of my favorite ones. My first 3 years of tournaments, I faked sidekick back. Or hit sidekick 1-2 times, then bam, or come over top. When you did, when y'all was fighting on the square at the end, and he was really good, and he just fell for the simplest feint because that's so real. Like they get used to you doing that, then all of a sudden, whoop, pop.
Yeah, some things some things that work in person don't look good on camera.
I've noticed that.
It's weird, like this kick here, just block it. I'm just going to throw it slow. This kick almost nobody ever blocks, right? But it don't look good on camera. So if I go here,
Woo.
see this? Nobody blocks that. I usually catch them right in the temple.
Yep.
Nobody sees that, like nobody does.
Yep.
Because you're so used to
seeing that round, you set me up that way.
So, but it switches where you can't see it.
Right.
And
He said, "Can we see that one more time?"
Yeah, but it's kind of like it's kind of mean.
Oh hell yeah! You catch me with that. I'm asleep. I'm asleep.
Yeah, like nobody ever, never in a competition has anyone ever blocked it.
Yeah,
nobody has. Yeah. But I've even seen myself in competition hit people with that. But people, just like you just saw, you was like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
It switches up. It's effective, but it don't look good on camera.
Yeah,
because
the camera misses that the whole essence of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Blood Bone. How many of those sweeps did you have to do?
Sweeps?
Yeah. When you were sweeping the guys, you sweep it off their feet. Every time they try to kick you, you sweep them, you drop them. Were those choreographed? Did you have to do some of those?
No. That was choreographed, but it's real.
Yeah, I know it's real.
But the thing about a sweep is when you're sweeping, if somebody if somebody puts too much weight on their front leg, they're pretty dead. So the thing about a sweep is the idea is you want to bring their foot the direction of their toe.
Big toe.
Yeah. So
take it where it goes at.
Yeah. So that's the thing, and when you're sweeping, it's a hook. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, you good.
It's a hook. Not so a lot of people throw it like a kick.
Right. Exactly.
But that's the trick is you're hooking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's pretty much.
Okay. And those you did a bunch of base leg sweeps in that movie, man. You dumping them on their head. I said that was real.
The one I like, the one sweep I like, I think it was more of the karate sweep with that dragon tail. Most times I see people, go here, and I love George because you threw your whole hip through that motherfucker, and I was like,
it's just like, but that's very much like wushu. You turn your upper body, then you bring
You whip.
It's
like talks like Masi. Masi talks a lot about wushu.
That was the first time I saw it, like that dragon tail like that, and I was like, oh, see, that's the way I want to throw that.
Here's what I want to know, bro. What's your diet?
I don't really have a diet.
What do you?
I just eat. I just don't eat bad stuff. I really, that's really what it is. I just like real clean, good food. That's real food.
Name some stuff, man.
I'll say it like this: like all my food looks like it's supposed to. So like a potato is going to be a potato, not a potato chip.
Okay.
So it's just everything looks like it's supposed to. I don't do processed stuff. And, if I'm gonna have a piece of turkey, it looks like a piece of turkey. It's not a
Not a dinosaur.
not a cold cut.
Yeah.
You know, not a cold
A
cut.
turkey nugget.
You know, yeah. So it's, you know, pretty much, you know, I haven't had a soda in 33 years.
Relax.
I just don't like it. It's just garbage. It's just garbage. It's not.
Yeah, it's a
It's
can
not,
of
it's
sugar.
not good for
Yeah.
you, you know. And I think because of that, you know, I tend to, I don't feel any different than when I was in my 30s.
Wow.
But you know, I mean, and so I think I'm aging pretty well.
There you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
We
I've
25.
I've got 6 grandchildren, 3
Oh,
great
really?
grandchildren.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm feeling, you know, pretty good. I think it's because I don't eat bad stuff.
But you eat a 3 meal a day, twice a day, once a day.
Whenever I'm hungry. It's not, you know, it's not as disciplined as you might think, but you know, I just don't tend to eat bad stuff. So I like to have energy, and I like food for purpose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Food
Yeah,
for
makes sense.
medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food is your medicine.
That's how I
That's
think.
right.
Yeah.
But you know, nowadays you can get good food and it tastes good. Yeah.
And it be trash. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell you. I don't. People think I lift weights for some reason. Like I really don't. I do conditioning stuff, but if I were to really lift weights, I'd get really big.
Yeah.
I don't like being really big. I usually try to trim down.
Isometrics.
No, I mean I'll do pull-ups and things like that, but I mean I'm not somebody who's going to lift heavy weights because I don't want to get bulky.
And get slower with the
Yeah,
techniques.
yeah.
What's your birthday?
November 10th.
Scorpio.
Yeah.
My Scorpio brother.
Yeah.
Last question. When can I get in the next movie? Now,
Well, like anything,
you know, I shared that picture we did the other night
Yeah.
at the thing,
Uh-huh.
and I had a whole bunch of people on there say, "Y'all look alike." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a father-son script right there, right there."
All my ninjas on go. All my ninjas on go. All my ninjas